4 people dead, 8 injured, a church burned to the ground, and behind it all, a decorated Marine veteran, a father, and a man with no known motive. Today, we're diving into everything we know about Thomas Jacob Sanford, the 40-year-old Iraq War veteran behind the Michigan church shooting that shocked the nation. On Sunday morning, worshippers gathered at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township, Michigan, for their regular service. But around 10:25 a.m., chaos struck. According to police, Sanford rammed his pickup truck into the front of the church, stepped out with an assault rifle, and opened fire on the congregation. Amid the gunfire, he allegedly used an accelerant to set the building ablaze, turning a peaceful Sunday into a nightmare. By the time it was over, 4 people were dead, 8 injured, and Sanford himself was killed during an exchange of gunfire with police. So who was Thomas Jacob Sanford? Sanford was a 40-year-old resident of Burton, Michigan, just 6 miles from the church. He was a U.S. Marine Corps veteran, serving from 2004 to 2008, and deployed to Iraq in 2007 during Operation Iraqi Freedom. Records show he earned several medals, including the Iraq Campaign Medal, Good Conduct Medal, and Global War on Terrorism Service Medal. By all accounts, he was a patriot, a man who once risked his life overseas. After leaving the military, Sanford returned home, worked as a truck driver for Coca-Cola, and started a family. He was married and had a young son named Brantley, who battled a rare genetic disorder called congenital hyperinsulinism. The condition led to multiple surgeries and heavy medical bills, forcing Sanford to take time off work and fundraise for care. In past interviews, Sanford said, "Don't ever take having healthy kids for granted." He described his child's struggle as the most difficult challenge he'd ever faced, even more than his time in Iraq. Friends and former classmates described him as a quiet outdoorsman, a hunter, and a country kid. One classmate said he seemed normal and happy to see people around town. So what could have caused this? That's the question investigators are still asking. Authorities have not released a motive, and the FBI is now leading the investigation as a case of targeted violence. Officials say they're reviewing Sanford's cell phone records, social media, and military background to understand what led to this tragedy. A 2019 Facebook post showed Sanford wearing a Trump 2020 shirt, and a yard sign at his home supported Trump-Pence. But investigators have not linked any political motive to the attack. So far, there's no evidence his son's illness, financial struggles, or beliefs were connected to what happened. Witnesses at the scene described a horrifying moment, a loud crash, smoke, and gunfire erupting inside the sanctuary. One woman said, "My church is gone. I've lost friends. I can't understand why someone would do this." Within 8 minutes, police responded, confronted Sanford, and ended the attack. Still, the community is left shattered. President Donald Trump called the event horrendous and urged prayers for the victims, calling it another targeted attack on Christians. Leaders from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints called the act tragic and senseless, asking for unity and healing. This marks the 324th mass shooting in the United States this year, a grim reminder of the ongoing violence facing communities across the nation. As the FBI searches for answers, one thing is clear. Thomas Jacob Sanford's story is one of contrasts: a Marine hero, a devoted father, and now, a man responsible for one of the most shocking church attacks in recent memory. Investigators say it may take weeks before we know why he did it. But for now, Michigan mourns, and a congregation prays for peace, healing, and understanding. If you like the video, then don't forget to subscribe. It really motivates us to create helpful videos.